You know that feeling when your meeting room is just buzzing with a genuinely great idea? I mean, the vision is absolutely clear, it's vivid, and your whiteboard totally proves it. But then, the energy just kind of fades when you have to wait weeks for a first draft of the code. That gap, that's exactly where momentum dies. Well, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're exploring a totally new approach that completely compresses that timeline. Okay, let's dive into this. The central question we are tackling today is how do you actually choose the right vibe coding platform for building an AI native product? Because, look, here's the reality. Different platforms are designed for fundamentally different workflows, technical skill levels, and project requirements. Finding the right fit for your team is quite literally the difference between building a prototype that scales and one that simply creates a massive pile of technical debt. So here is our roadmap for today. We'll quickly define what vibe coding actually is, break down the three major platform categories, look at web-based builders, dive into desktop IDEs, touch on terminal tools, and finally, we'll build a highly practical decision matrix so you can choose your perfect platform fit. Section 1. What is vibe coding? And this brilliantly illustrates the workflow. This concept, which really caught fire in late 2024, represents a massive shift. We're moving away from traditional manual execution straight into intent-driven collaboration. Here's how it works now. You start with a product idea, you translate that into natural language instructions, and then the AI just goes to work. What comes out the other side is generated software, which is then refined through human reveal. You're basically communicating your intent conversationally, and the AI is handling all the heavy technical lifting. So, the formal definition, vibe coding is AI-driven software development where users describe their intent in natural language, and the AI generates working code and applications. Driven by large language models like Claude, GPT-4, and Gemini, this approach fundamentally changes our relationship with code. Honestly, it's a lot like having a tireless junior developer right next to you who types at the speed of light. It makes early development unbelievably fast, giving product teams working software as a true, tangible starting point. Section 2. Three major platform categories. The platforms enabling this massive shift are pretty varied, and your choice is going to fundamentally dictate your team's day-to-day workflow. So the crucial point is how technical involvement scales across these options. We have web-based AI builders. These are intended for non-developers and rapid prototyping, requiring beginner to intermediate skills. Then we have AI-enhanced IDEs. These are for developers who want to stay in their traditional coding environments, demanding intermediate to advanced skills. And finally, command-line AI tools. These are strictly for advanced developers who are already totally comfortable with terminal workflows. Section 3. Web-based AI app builders. Just imagine a starting point where having a simple conversation in your browser actually constructs a complete deployable application. It layers the UI, spins up back-end logic, and preps data foundations. There are three real standouts here. First, Lovable. They believe software should start with a dialogue, making it perfect for teams with mixed skill sets. It brings product leaders, designers, and engineers together to turn natural language directly into code. Then there's Replit. This is fantastic for those fragile early ideas that need a shared sandbox for rapid experimentation and real-time collaboration without dealing with local setups. And then we have V0 by Vercel. Z0 has evolved from just making React components into a full agentic AI builder. It tackles planning, databases, and full-stack app generation to get functional MVPs up and running super fast. Continuing with our web-based builders, we have Bolt.new, which is fascinating. It embeds prompt-driven development directly into a browser workflow using web containers. This means AI models have complete control over a full node environment right in your browser. Then there's Noah. Noah is specifically for teams needing a mobile-first Flutter workflow. It blends AI generation with visual editing and direct access to raw Dart code. It's an absolute powerhouse when you need apps for iOS, Android, and the web all at once. Section 4. AI-enhanced desktop IDEs. Now we're shifting gears to environments built for existing developer workflows, and it's really important to grasp the difference here. A browser-based builder acts as an automated builder from a prompt. It's cloud-hosted with zero setup. An AI-enhanced IDE, on the other hand, acts like an expert pair programmer deeply integrated into your local established workflow. Using an IDE definitely requires technical proficiency. It's meant to be an amplifier of developer skills, absolutely not a substitute for them. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is looking at Cursor, the leading platform in this space. Because it's actually a VS Code fork, engineers get to maintain their established tooling, version control, and workflows without skipping a beat.
You steer the AI using detailed prompts right within your active project, and it gives you highly context-aware code suggestions. But remember, because it's producing code meant for production, it strictly demands engineering judgment to evaluate those suggestions. It keeps the developer firmly in the driver's seat.
Section 5. Terminal and Specialized Tools.
All right, this category emerges advanced terminal agents with highly targeted generation tools. Think of these command line tools as high-throughput drafting specialists. Claude Code operates as an assistant engineered for deep, multi-file reasoning. ChatGPT Codex excels at scaffolding out entire API endpoints and modular refactors. Gemini CLI brings Google's open coding capabilities straight into the terminal. And Open Code is an open-source option that connects models directly to your CI/CD pipelines. With all of these, human review is the mandatory gateway. They strictly require developer validation.
Beyond those broad platforms, there is a whole vibrant ecosystem of niche tools that solve one specific problem exceptionally well. You've got Divity and Base44, which offer incredible speed for web generation and full-stack builds. Bloom focuses strictly on polished mobile-first output. Vibecode gives developers a visual environment for manipulating components, while Rourke takes the headache out of connecting visual components to live data. These are powerful, specialized adjuncts, not your primary platforms.
Section 6. Choosing your platform fit. Okay, we've reached the crucial part. It's time to dismantle the idea of a single best platform entirely. Instead, let's look at scenarios, because a misfit here causes massive headaches. Scenario 1. Do you need rapid prototyping, and are you working with a mixed technical and non-technical team? Think back to that early friction of just trying to get a product idea off the whiteboard. The fit for this scenario? Lovable or Replit? These platforms create a shared creative space. They allow you to overcome that initial inertia through conversational prompts and real-time live collaboration. You completely bypass the overhead of setting up local environments.
What about scenario 2? Do you prefer a developer-focused workflow because you are building complex integrations? This is really targeting engineering teams that require strict governance, scaling, and deep system architecture.
Let's move to and see how this builds out. If that sounds like your team, the absolute best fit is Cursor, or CLI tools. These are tailored for engineers who want AI to act as an amplifier within their established Git and local workflows. This choice stresses the immense importance of code ownership and keeping total technical control over the final product. Now, when adopting these tools, you might run into an internal culture gap between super excited product leaders and, well, skeptical engineers. The source material addresses this perfectly with a direct quote from their FAQ. It says, "Frame the tool as an assistant for the tedious, not a replacement for the ingenious. Start with a pilot for repetitive stuff. It proves the value without threatening the complex problem-solving that engineers actually love doing." Let's summarize our core takeaways here. First, always match the tool to your project's deepest complexity, not just what makes the first draft easiest. Ensure you have clear governance controls in place. Demand full code ownership and portability. You do not want to get trapped in a vendor's ecosystem. And above all else, prioritize long-term maintenance over initial creation speed. A fast version 1 is practically useless if it leaves you with a tangled, opaque codebase for version 2. Which brings us to our final provocative thought. As we shift from manual coding to this new world of intent-driven development, you have to ask yourself, are you choosing a platform that provides speed today without mortgaging your clarity tomorrow? True sustainable adoption is all about matching the tool to your team's real technical level to build durable products. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy building.